Hi everybody, this is Diana in LA and Cary in the UK, and we're here to talk about this week's stars. Welcome to our weekly reading where we explore all things astrological. From our two different points of view in two different locations in the world, we bring to you a unique astrological perspective on what is happening right now across the globe. So here we go. Well, we're both wearing black because we've just come out of the full moon in Capricorn. And that full moon, which was on Thursday, just passed, is about that reality. We a little bit talked about that last week, back to reality. And we are coming into a time right now where things are very black and white. And so as much as life seems to be going back to normal, kind of, and as much as we would like things to be normal again, things are not normal at all. So, batten down the hatches. Let's talk about this week. Cary, what are you seeing from your side of the world?
Hi everyone. Hope you had a good week. And I hope you're ready for what's coming up this week, because yes, we are dressed in black. It wasn't planned and it's not really representative of what's going on, but it is a challenging week. And the reason it's challenging is because that T-square with Saturn, Uranus and Mars is beginning to tighten. And at the end of the week, it becomes very tight. So look what's happening on the world stage when it comes to rumblings between countries, because that is the kind of thing we're looking for. So for example, in Europe, the kind of rumblings that are going on, there are discussions about maybe kicking Hungary out of the European Union because they're not complying on certain laws, for example. So it's things like that. So this is the week which will be challenging. This will be the week where all the news that comes out on the world stage will be very important.
Yes, and if we start to look as the week unfolds, oh my goodness. Monday and Tuesday are a little bit lighter, a little. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like a noose, tighter and tighter and tighter. 4th of July is Sunday here in the United States. I'm just trying to imagine how this weekend coming will be, and the week, this week, because there's so much tension. There is an ever-increasing intensification. So, if there was a time to keep a steady hand and be sober to things and non-reactive to things, this is the week.
I was looking at the placement of the planets this week and I was thinking about Joe Biden and his administration. Joe Biden has his Mars at 12 degrees Scorpio in his natal chart, in his 12th house. So this lineup of planets will be very challenging for him. However, to lighten that up, Neptune, transiting Neptune, is trining his Venus and creating a grand trine with his Venus and his Jupiter. So although it's very challenging, he'll feel good about taking things on. However, the administration, when it was formed, had Uranus and Mars conjunct at 6 degrees Taurus. What is happening now is challenging this current administration. So the kind of laws that they're trying to pass at the moment may come against great obstacles. So this is a very challenging time for countries who've got planets at those degrees, for people who've got planets at those degrees, because this is a time of challenge and change.
Right, so we're talking about the fixed signs, Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio. We're feeling it the hardest and the tightest of anyone, but wherever you have planets in fixed signs, you're going to feel this tightening and tension. Lay low, meditate, stay in your center during this very intense week.
The way to handle these aspects is when you look at your chart, for example, look to see what planets you've got in the fixed signs. And are they at the degrees of 10, 11, 12, 13 degrees? Are they at those degrees of those signs? Because you are the people who are going to feel it most. Now, I know some of the people who watch this have got stelliums in Scorpio, stelliums in Taurus, very near those degrees. So these are challenging times, but it doesn't necessarily, I said this last week, it doesn't necessarily mean to be bad. It just means that these are times to approach things very seriously and expect things to come out the blue, because that's the dynamic of Uranus. So when you've got Uranus in the T-square, it will have a massive effect if it's squaring or opposing your planets.
One of the good things that comes from these big T-square aspects is they are motivating. They are, I don't want to say inspiring exactly, but they sort of force a conclusion. They sort of make something happen. And so we're all in that energy right now. And even if there are some wonderful aspects that are happening concurrently, as usual, but this one's so strong, it's really kind of got our riveted attention. And so as it's got our attention like this, it's going to show up in your chart somewhere. And it's definitely going to show up in the world.
There are some aspects which actually lighten up the T-square. So at the moment, the Sun is creating a sextile with Uranus. So as we come up to Sunday, the Sun will be sextiling Uranus almost exact. So that alleviates some of the harder aspects that are happening at this time, because we're focusing on this T-square because it's huge. It's as big as that stellium we had last year in Capricorn. You know, it's as important to the world in another way as that, because we're coming out of the pandemic. Well, some of us are coming out of the pandemic, but the world has still got challenges, and those challenges to the structure, which is Saturn, are really being challenged by Uranus and Mars. And of course, Venus is also in Leo, so you feel it even stronger. So this is going to be quite an interesting time, more than anything else, on the world stage. But just watch what goes on and look at the news that comes out over this next week and see how important that is for the future.
Right. On July 4th, Sunday, we've got Uranus and the Moon conjunct in Taurus. So that, again, is a little bit when the Moon touches Uranus, right? It acts like a trigger. The other thing is Venus and Mars are conjunct in Leo. So Leo is about boastfulness and pride. It can be. It can also be about great, wonderful leadership, but it's in a T-square. So that means pride of country, pride of self, pride of, what we're doing versus what you're doing. And everybody's feeling kind of strongly about their positioning. And so these are the things that can cause problems because no one will back down.
And that's one of the effects of having a T-square. Not backing down, not giving in. Saturn, Uranus, Mars, 3 really strong planets, all pulling and pushing against each other. That's tough.
And in fixed signs, stubborn, right? So everybody feels right. Everybody feels like their way's the right way. And of course, it's just another position. And so somehow we have to bridge this, and there's not very many bridges right now. And even though there are some lovely aspects from the Sun this week, and the Moon actually, it doesn't really do that much to stop this increasing tension during this week. So hang in there, everybody. This is going to be a very intense thing to watch in the world and maybe in your life too. So be calm, stay steady. That Capricorn moon is all about one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Think of mountain goats hanging on to the little tiny 1-inch side of a cliff and how they can keep their balance somehow. That's kind of what we're dealing with right now. And so we'll see you next week with another broadcast of ASTRO UKLA. And don't forget, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, where you can subscribe and get alerted when there's a new broadcast out, which usually come out on Sunday. So we'll see you next time, everybody.
Yeah, you take it easy And try and be like the water flowing down the mountainside this week. Any obstacle that comes, you continue on your journey, because that probably is the best way to handle a week like this, where the aspects are the way they are. Have a good week, folks.